Welcome, everybody, to the Bad Moon's Orbit. I am Dalton Montgomery. I am your resident Warhammer aficionado.
And I'm Darian Smart, and I'm pretty sure Warhammer is what you call Mjolnir when it's being wielded by the War Thor.
Thank you for joining us for our inaugural episode today. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, which is everybody, because it's the only one we've ever done. The premise of this podcast is that I, Dalton, the person who really likes Warhammer, really likes Warhammer Age of Sigmar specifically, I'm going to have a conversation with my friend Darian, who doesn't know anything about the setting.
Listen, I used to work at the mall, right? And on the path I would take home from the mall, I'd pass by another little stretch of strip mall stores. And sometimes I'd look over and I'd see the eyeglass place and think, I could probably get LASIK surgery done there. And right next to the store was a shop. It's just called Warhammer. And I was like, friend Dalton does that. And then I continue my journey home. And that's the beginning and end of my knowledge of Warhammer. There's a store off Milwaukee and Emerald that is called Warhammer. I'm only 80% sure it has anything to do with the thing friend Dalton does. I've never been inside.
You're in luck. It does. You've got one thing for Warhammer. It does have a that is our local Warhammer store here in Boise. Not to immediately dox us, but
I would be shocked if you're listening to me and you know me from any of my other work, you know exactly where I'm from. I've had people recognize me from the podcast because they knew I rock climbed in the area.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Suppressing the horror of being known.
Yeah,
No.
That's going to go away. You're going to have to come across that real. So the other reason I'm here, dear listener, is because, as just mentioned, I do several podcasts. And so, whilst Dalton is my guide through this fantastical Warhammer world, I am his guide through the horror of being known through the audio medium.
And it's going to be an experience for both of us, an adventure on two fronts.
I also like when my friends just tell me about the things they like.
Yeah.
So that's also why I'm here. I want to hear my friend Dalton tell me about this thing he and to my understanding, is really good at. You play this. It's a game.
Yeah.
I also know that. I recognize it's a game.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
A little bit. Well, no, we're not going to talk about the game. We're not going to talk about mechanics. This
We
is
talked about you
definitely a lore
won
podcast.
a charity thing recently?
Yeah, well, I came in third recently at one of our local charity tournaments. For those of you unfamiliar, Warhammer refers jointly to a couple of different game systems, all of them published by British company Games Workshop. There is their vastly more popular Warhammer 40k, and then there's what I play, Age of Sigmar, which is a high fantasy. High fantasy is probably not the right descriptor. It's like a crazy fantasy setting.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm already excited.
It's got wild stuff going on that I'm a huge fan of. It is a tabletop war game, so if you've ever seen people do like military reenactments with miniatures, that's kind of the vibe we're going for, except instead of tiny French people, I have a lot of orcs and goblins and trolls that hang out and fight elves, and it's a good time for everybody except the people who lose. That's not true. They also have a good time. Age of Sigmar is a fantasy war game, but it's also like a larger setting. It has stories, it has animations, it has video games associated with it, all of which give context to this fun little like war game that we play. It's intentionally a little bit vague in its lore, so that you can imagine any given game of Warhammer you're playing is a thing that's really happening, taking place in the universe, which is really interesting. 40k also has that quality. I think. I don't know very much about 40k.
Don't worry about that one.
Yeah. Don't worry about 40k. They share a couple of, if you're familiar with 40k, you'll recognize a couple of the names I say. They share name similarities, but they're not otherwise connected. Probably the first thing that should be mentioned about Age of Sigmar and the Mortal Realms as a whole is that it is a post-apocalyptic fantasy setting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right?
What was the apocalypse?
So I'm going to immediately contradict myself and say it's actually a post-apocalyptic setting.
There was an apocalypse, but we've recovered.
Yes, and then there was a second apocalypse.
Oh, okay. Wait, okay. Have they recovered from the second one?
No.
I see.
We're working on it. Yeah. People who are already kind of familiar with Warhammer know where I'm going, but Age of Sigmar and the Mortal Realms is actually the second fantasy property that GW created in the time before Age of Sigmar. Mm-hmm. There was another. There was The World That Was.
What a good name.
Right? I love The World That Was. The World That Was. You can feel the fantasy vibes coming off of it. The world that was at the time, it was just called like the Warhammer world. It was the original property that Games Workshop created. And through a number of factors that I'm not going to litigate here, a lot of them business, a lot of them like waning popularity and such, Games Workshop looked at the world that was, and they said, what if we did something else? And what if, instead of just taking it and like putting it in a shoebox over here and starting something new, we blew it up.
Just threw a planet at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And so that's what they did.
Is that what happened in Fortnite or Overwatch?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with either of those properties.
League of Legends? One of the two literally had some. They like just blew up the original game and then put it back together for like Era 2.
I don't know. That sounds kind of like a Fortnite thing. I'm not
sounds
super
like a Fortnite
familiar.
Thing, right?
Yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
also not, but I just have a general like existence in the eras of pop culture. So like that sounds right.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not.
So the old Warhammer world, it's got kind of a I've been calling it a Crisis on Infinite Earths thing, which isn't, I don't think, accurate.
Oh.
But it goes through cycles. The lore of the old Warhammer world was that a world would come into existence. It would be beseeched by these entities known as the Chaos Gods.
Okay.
They would win. They would destroy it. A new one would come into existence sometimes later.
Okay.
That's happened quite a few times. We don't know how many times that happened before like the old world, the world that was, like came into existence. But it was quite a few.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just happens a lot. And we know some of those worlds existed for like a month, right?
Are they all the worlds that was?
Kind of. The trick to it is that we don't know anything about the ones before the world that was.
Okay.
Just that it keeps happening, basically. But the world that was at the time, it was the one that had succeeded for the longest.
Okay.
So like usually Chaos would find the world pretty quickly and without anything to resist it, destroy it. Chaos's natural goal is to just return things to entropy. It doesn't like when there's order in the universe. It doesn't like when gravity works properly and like things follow each other.
When you can write a law and it'll stick around.
So
when the world that was the world that is, did it have a name?
No. Well, it had not really. It's complicated.
Is that that could be the tagline of our podcast? It's complicated.
It's complicated, yeah. At the meta level, it was just called like the Warhammer setting. Occasionally, Warhammer Fantasy Battles, which is what the words on the rule book were. In the world that's now, in the Mortal Realms, it does actually have a name.
Okay.
It's called Mallus, Mallus.
Okay.
For those taking notes at home. But at the time, it was just the world. Okay. It's where we all live.
That was being besieged by chaos.
Yes. But part of what helped it survive for so long, chaos is inherently magical. In Warhammer as a setting, all magic roots back to chaos.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fundamentally, it is taking the established like order of what should be able to happen and throwing it the middle finger,
like
kind of.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so wizards are always at risk of, when they do magic, like drawing the sight of chaos.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Like the eye of Sauron. Like, whenever you do anything cool, he's gonna notice.
Yep.
Like, don't want that.
Or if you screw up really bad, you can pull chaos into the world through yourself. That is,
no, you don't want that.
Yeah, that is almost exclusively lethal, and when it's not lethal, you'd wish it was. Yeah.
So is chaos an entity? Like, if they walked in the room, would you be like, oh, shit? Or are they just like a vibe?
It's a little of both, honestly. Okay. So chaos is like a fundamental force of the universe, but it has coalesced into some kind of like recognizable traits. Chaos in the world that was represented by 4 like nameable entities who have like personalities and goals of their own, who are still forces of the universe.
Okay.
In Age of Sigmar, that's been upgraded to 5. A lesser god helped chaos destroy the old world, and so he got a promotion. Yep.
Wait, okay, so when you say the 4 entities, just are we talking like Father, Son, Holy Spirit thing, or like literally just 4 dudes that were helping, and or is it chaos had 4 vibes?
Yeah.
And now there's a 5th dude who's been engulfed in the club.
It, like I said, it's a little of both.
Okay.
So I'll talk a little bit about the Chaos Gods, which is how they're collectively referred to, or the Ruinous Powers is their
Very
like
good
official,
name.
right? It's super good. So the Ruinous Powers are comprised of these 4 entities who all of them are chaos. All of them hate that like order to the world and wish to return it to that kind of primordial nothingness, but they approach that in different ways. So the four main ones, the four ones that existed both prior to the world that was and throughout the world that was, are, and they can have a little bit of silly names, and I'm aware of that, and I enjoy that because fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly the oldest one is Khorne.
Is it spelled with a K?
It is spelled with a K.
Fuck yeah, it's spelled with a K.
A K and an H. Khorn.
Hell yeah.
E,
Hell yeah.
I want to
K and an
say.
H.
Yeah, and it's got an E on the end too. So it's just really all the extra letters we can find.
Chaos.
Yeah, chaos. We don't know how old they are, but Khorne is always depicted as the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
Khorne is the god of violence.
Okay.
He influences people to use violence to create more chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Rules you don't like, fight someone over them. Thing you don't like, break it. Khorne, as with all the chaos gods, has an element of neutrality trending towards like okay to him.
Mm-hmm.
Khorne is as representative of a psycho murderer as he is of a valiant knight defending their home.
I was for real just thinking about don't like this rules, fight it. And I'm like,
Yep.
I mean, yeah, my guy, don't like something, break it. I'm like, yeah, fuck the system.
Yep.
Like, yeah. I like, okay, get re-gearing my perception of chaos in this context.
Yeah.
Go.
Ultimately, all of chaos is like working towards the end of all things. So like Khorne is a bad dude.
Yeah.
Partially because he doesn't make that distinction. Like
Okay.
Khorne likes it when you fight an oppressive system. Khorne loves it when you kill innocent people.
Okay.
The expression that you may have heard, even if you're not familiar with Warhammer, is blood for the blood god.
I have heard
For the
that.
skull throne. That's Khorne.
Why?
He is the blood god. Say what you will about the man, he has the best catchphrases.
Mm-hmm.
He also sits upon a literal throne of skulls.
Very cool.
And that his followers attribute to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Khorne cares not from whence the blood flows, only that it flows.
Mm-hmm.
Again, violence without direction is what makes him a chaos god, right?
Okay.
He doesn't really have an end goal in mind. He just likes it when people hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bad dude.
He's a bad dude.
Probably the next in line age-wise is Nurgle, who also has a delightful name to say.
Wonderful.
Also called Grandfather Nurgle. He's the only chaos god who isn't explicitly malevolent.
Okay.
Even though he does bad things, technically Nurgle is the god of life. It's just that, from Nurgle's perspective, bacteria outnumber everything else on Earth millions to one. So in practice, Nurgle is the god of disease. Yeah.
Yeah, bet. But it's got to be specifically not viruses. Viruses aren't alive.
He's fine with viruses and or bacteria.
Okay.
Just kind of the spreading of he is sided clearly on the viruses are alive side of that spectrum.
Okay.
He just loves it.
NRA, DNA, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, who cares? He's a
Wait, RNA or DNA.
right. Ever-present god of pestilence who, like I said, whereas like Khorne encourages his followers to murder, the other chaos gods have like devious and malicious things that they encourage their followers to do. Nurgle wants his followers to spread disease, and he loves his followers as his children. They're open sores and buboes and everything else.
All right, so we have war and we have plague.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say we got a famine theme coming up.
No. Unfortunately, that's where the Four Horsemen connection kind of ends.
There's 4 of them, and half of them are the horse. Well, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And 2 of them are very similar to Book of Revelations, and then we go off script because it's chaos.
Yep.
You're not allowed to have a theme here.
Nurgle also has a strong connotation with death just because Nurgle's whole thing is cycles, as he's the god of life. That includes like fungus and kind of like the cycle of decay.
Oh, Hellspore.
The dead animal creates more bacteria to infect the next thing. Like he's very much cyclical. Also, all chaos gods have demons associated with them. That's like where demons originate from.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I
that's
wasn't
that's
prepared
a
for demons.
That's a big jump. Yeah.
Well, it's like, okay, demons. I was like, okay, got it. That's where the demons originate from. Okay, hold
Yeah.
the phone.
Demons are creatures of chaos fundamentally. Almost all demons are associated with one of the major chaos gods.
Okay.
If you imagine chaos as just like this is going to be a weird metaphor. If you imagine chaos as just like a giant bowl of porridge,
Yes.
imagine that porridge starting out as unflavored. And
That's
then
porridge does.
Yeah, and then kind of as humans and like other sentient creatures developed habits and whatnot that flavored the porridge, and those flavors, all 4 of them, kind of have like eventually taken over the whole porridge. if that makes sense.
Okay.
So corn is the oldest because...
Corn is brown sugar. Oh, no. Corn is going to be the milk.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you pour in there.
Yeah. Because violence and like early like sentient species, and then disease followed closely thereafter.
Nurgle is brown sugar.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of littles.
Yeah, I feel like you'd appreciate that comparison.
I'm gonna continue this. Keep going. Wait. So no. We gotta start. No. I'm putting a pin in demons. Tell me the other ones.
So the third oldest chaos god, as far as anyone can tell, is Tzeentch, who not only has, in my opinion, the funnest name to say, Tzeentch.
Yeah.
It's also the funnest to spell because it's T-Z-E.
No!
T-Z-E-E-N-T-C-H. Tzeentch. He's a delight. Tzeentch is the god of deception and trickery.
Stellar.
He's also the god of hope.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a little bit of lying to yourself in there, kind of his like neutral to good thing. But as the god of deception and trickery, he also holds some sway and domain over the practical application of magic. So wizards are often, if not explicitly in like devotion to Tzeentch, they often pay him tribute in unexpected ways. Tzeentch's proper title is the Changer of Ways.
Interesting.
He loves just like stuff happening, and not necessarily with like intent. Tzeentch loves one thing turning into another thing. He's a big fan of transmutation. He's a big fan of bells backfiring on people and them turning into mutants. He's just huge on all that stuff.
Yeah.
He also, all of his demons look like birds, which I'm personally a fan of.
Of course,
but
yes.
Yes.
Dalton loves a burb.
I do love a bird.
Dear listener, know this. This is an important fact about Dalton.
They're great.
Loves a bird.
They're great.
I want to talk a little bit about the hope thing.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, is like regards to like deception and stuff. Like, yeah, you have to like. It's a bit of like lying to yourself about the situation, letting yourself believe that this can't be forever, despite evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
But it also makes sense for it to be like with this chaos, with this like this entity that is inherently malevolent because it does ultimately want to destroy all things.
Right.
There's a reason that the spirit of hope, Elpis, was in the jar, in the Pythos given to Pandora by Zeus. To all the horrors of the world were in it. And the only reason Hope didn't get out was because Pandora closed the jar before it could escape. And that's really interesting. And the ancients were debating on, like, why was Hope in the jar and what does it represent? And one of the things is, like, yeah, well, maybe Hope is a bad thing because it just keeps you trapped in terrible situations.
People sometimes talk about, like, if you're familiar with, like, Star Trek, you can imagine, like, a Vulcan society in, like, a hopeless situation. They might be like, okay, like, here's our best options. We're going to do one of these that has the highest success rate. And if it doesn't work, okay, like that's it. Whereas like the kind of human thing to do is like, even if there's no chance, even if there's nothing left to do, we're going to keep trying. And that's that's hope. Yeah.
That thing didn't work. We're going to try a new thing.
Yeah.
We're going to try a new thing. Yeah.
Even when it's not going to work, you keep doing it. And that's kind of the
hope and madness.
Yeah, exactly. Here's also probably a good point to mention from the perspective of the Chaos Gods. They don't like each other. Yeah.
I'm so excited that the Chaos Gods don't like each other.
All of the Chaos Gods hate each other. Each of them has an explicit rivalry with one of the others.
But is it this back and forth rivalry?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just wondering if like Nurgle had a rivalry with Khorne, who has a rivalry with Tzeentch, and the others don't fucking give a damn about the other one who thinks they have a rivalry. Okay. This is better.
All of them don't like each other, usually because they like kind of get in each other's way, right? Like Khorne hates it when he's like inspired this civilization to be these like marauding warfare like barbarians, and then they also come to the Black Plague, right? Like he hates that. He hates that.
I can see that. I would hate that too.
Yeah, but they also have explicit rivalry where usually they're more directly like misaligned in what they want. One of them is Tzeentch and Nurgle hate each other, and it's because Tzeentch is constant change. He is new things. He is hope. He is new and exciting things. And Nurgle is stagnation. He is things staying how they are. He is the cycle that keeps going and does not change and stays how it is.
Yeah.
Part of the reason, and I bring that up mostly because part of the reason why Tzeentch represents hope, especially in the face of overwhelming odds, is because he thinks it's super funny that screws with the other chaos gods sometimes.
Nice. I'm decided that Tzeentch is, in the porridge metaphor, blueberries.
Yeah.
You're lying to yourself as you're saying
Right.
putting blueberries in this makes it healthy.
Yep. And now we get to the youngest chaos god, who is going to be very funny to talk about as two ace people on this podcast.
Yes.
So the final chaos god, the youngest of the chaos gods, is Slaanesh.
Slaanesh.
They've got two A's in their name.
Stellar.
Slaanesh is the god of excess. Slaanesh represents excess in all of its forms. They have a strong connotation with like the 7 deadly sins, where like a lot of their followers practice excess through gluttony, or they practice excess through greed. The thing Slaanesh, especially in a pop culture context, is probably best known for is their followers who practice excess through lust.
Was waiting for it.
Yeah. Slaanesh definitely has a reputation. Slaanesh is not just that kind of like risque vibe, but
it's the self-destructive element.
yes. So Slaanesh, the upside of Slaanesh is that Slaanesh can inspire people to seek like pleasure in a normal way as well, right? Slaanesh drives people to create art. It drives them to form bonds with others. It drives them to create like good foods or good experiences. And then Slaanesh takes that joy a little bit from you each time, so that you go further and further and further.
More for the dopamine hit.
100%.
Slaanesh is the toaster strudel
Yeah.
you made alongside the oatmeal.
Oatmeal wasn't
you thought
enough.
you were going to have it was healthy. Now you deserve a little treat.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Slaanesh's rivalry is with Khorne. Whereas Slaanesh wants to keep people around so that they kind of slowly
going,
burn themselves out. That's opposed to Khorne's.
Just end it.
Yep. But yeah, those are the 4 chaos gods as they existed in the world that was and now in the world that is. And they conspired to end the world. They
over and over again.
Yes. They set their agents upon the world that was, mainly in the form of demons. Demons take after their corresponding chaos god. There are a couple of what we call undivided demons that just represent pure primordial chaos, unassociated with any of the gods. But for the most part, demons are just kind of like little versions of their gods. So like the highest ranking demon in Khorne's hierarchy is called a bloodthirster. It is the Balrog.
Yes.
It's a big horned demon with wings and a whip that fights people.
It's the Balrog.
Yeah, it's the Balrog.
This is not an accident.
No, yeah. Tzeentch's greatest, highest ranking demon is a big bird who do magic.
All burb.
Yeah, and he's great.
It's Hal.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Nurgle's has the best greater demon, obviously, because it is called a great unclean one. And that's exactly what it is. It's just a big guy who's real sick. And we love that for him.
You want to lie down, bud? You want to lie down? I'll get you with Tylenol? You want to take some cold medicine? We'll get you some NyQuil. You'll knock out.
Right.
You'll feel better in the morning.
You'll be great.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
His lesser demons are called Nurglings, and they're a joy.
Nurglings?
They're just little tiny. They're like, each of them is probably like less than a half a foot tall. And they're just joyous little terrible plague bombs that run around and have a blast.
Picturing gelatinous.
They are
with stuff inside, and they're like, you ever had a sticky hand that you just thought you'd see what happens if you sticky it on the carpet? Is that?
They're very, you're right up in the correct space. They're just tiny, terrible toddlers, honestly.
Oh, no.
They're great. We love them. To make a long story short, they ended the world successfully a bunch of times. The world that was, at one point, elves figured out a way to make it so that, because usually what led to the chaos gods being able to find their way into the world and destroy it was just like an over presence of magic.
Oh, okay.
Because chaos is like
right, and
magic.
So it's easy to sense it if there's a lot of it.
Absolutely. And so you use too much magic, the chaos gods find you. You use more magic, it starts opening tears in reality. They send a bunch of demons in, the world ends. In the world it was, elves figured out a way to just like basically put a plug in the bottom of the world.
Yeah.
So that when people used magic, it created an effect, and then it would get like pulled out of the world so that the chaos gods would have a harder time finding it and like opening rifts to destroy it.
So how did the elves know to do this?
They got taught by lizards.
How did the lizards know that this chaos thing was a problem if the previous worlds were all destroyed?
They got taught by survivors from one of the previous worlds.
There are survivors of the previous worlds.
There are, yeah.
Okay, when you say world, is it just like here's a galaxy of planets and each planet? Or when you say world, do you mean reality of a universe?
Reality.
How are there survivors of a reality that collapsed?
So we don't know very much about the worlds that came before the world that was. But what we do know is that there were a group of people, a species,
Someone.
friends.
Someone.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Just someone.
Just some dudes.
Yeah, who survived from a previous world. And when this one formed, they found it before Chaos did. And they said, we are going to try and save it. We're going to do what we can, like with what power we have left, to like build safeguards, to build like someone who can stand up against Chaos and win.
Yeah.
The first attempt.
I mean, nice try.
Yeah, right. And it worked for a long time. The old world was
Longer
around.
than you'd expect.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. First, they made lizard people, and they were like, we just need people who can fight. So they made lizard people, and they're basically like robots. They put in their heads like, here's what you do: you eat bug and you fight chaos.
Okay.
And a lot of them, they even went so far as to be like lizard people don't reproduce. All of the lizard people that will ever exist already exist.
Oh.
And they made their eggs like with divine magic, and they planted them in the ground, and those eggs have a date on them when they emerge into the world. And when that lizard person emerges, they have a calendar in their head of everything they're supposed to do with their life.
Oh my God, a to-do list.
Yep. And then like it went wrong at one point, and that list isn't accurate anymore. And
Oh, so they're just kind of like, what do we do?
so they were too inflexible. Those people were called the old ones. I think I mentioned that.
No.
But okay.
Maybe you did, and I did not associate them with being the lizard people.
Right. Well, no, the lizard people are just the lizard people. The old
the
old
ones
are the ones
that
who
came
made them.
from the...
Yeah.
Okay.
So the old
I
ones
understand
make lizards, and they're
now. It
too
works for a
inflexible.
while, but they can't improv.
Yeah, they can't improv. They're too inflexible.
Too rigid to the script.
Yeah, they leave them like, okay, maybe it's like a decent backup plan. We're going to try something else. They tried again. They made elves this time. And they said, cool, we're going to give elves like the ability to learn very well. We are going to give them like all of the resources they need. We're going to like set them up so that they already have the resources to build kind of like a little utopia, basically.
Nice.
So that they don't have to spend time like infighting.
They're good.
Yeah. We're just
It's
going
Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
They need all the things so they can do the tippy top of the pyramid, which, self-actualization, and in this case, don't let your world be consumed by chaos.
Exactly.
Which one could argue maybe is self-actualization?
I mean, pretty much,
Yeah.
like having purpose in the world and structure and like being able
you can't
to like,
you can't focus on not letting the world fall into chaos if you're like, but my family needs to eat.
Yeah.
Smart.
Only problem, they gave them a strong attunement to magic so that they'd be able to fight chaos better.
But chaos finds through magic.
They do.
They do.
And that wasn't ultimately why they eventually like moved on from elves, but it was a contributing part. Basically, they made them somewhat resistant to chaos. Basically, what they ended up doing is the equivalent of like making a character and you just put too many points into everything and then you don't have enough of them, basically.
Yeah, you need some people to specialize in some things to be effective.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is just there aren't enough elves. They don't reproduce fast enough. They live for a long time. They have very low incentive to like make new elves. Even at the height of the old world, the total number of elves in the world was like 1/10 of the humans.
This didn't work.
Non-viable.
Okay,
Yeah, non-viable. Try again. Okay, we're going to go the opposite direction. We're going to make a sentient species that's like the bare minimum for competency, but that reproduces pretty fast and can learn and can grow. Humans. That's where we come into the picture.
Yes, as I said.
Yep. We're going to give them shorter lifespans to encourage them to like learn faster, because that was another issue they had with elves.
It's
is
a very
like,
Tolkien thing.
Yeah, exactly. Elves are immortal, so they don't feel any rush to like get good at stuff.
Yeah.
They spend 1,000 years practicing one sword stroke, and that's cool. But also, who knows when chaos will be here?
Yeah.
So we're going to make humans cap out at like 100 years to encourage them to like.
And really, you kind of cap out at 75.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in like a medieval, like Holy Roman Empire-esque tech level, which is what the old world existed at for most of its time. If you lived to 80 in the old world, good job. You succeeded at being a human. Counter effect, humans don't live very long, and chaos is very persuasive. So if you are 30 and you're probably a little bit over a third of the way through your mortal lifespan, and you start hearing those whispers of the ruinous powers in your ear, hey, do what I want you to do, maybe you'll be spared when the world ends, or I will confer unto you power with the short life that you have, or I will make you experience pleasures you would have never even imagined. Maybe you do it because you're only going to live another 40 years.
Yeah,
whatever.
YOLO.
Yeah, humans were too easy to corrupt.
Yeah. I mean, the rings.
Yeah. And so the old ones are like, okay, we need to try another one.
But, okay. And I know this is the answer, but I want to, like, specify. They aren't destroying the failed experiments, right? They're still, like, around. They're just like, all right, you're not our special one anymore. We're just going to, like, keep doing what you're doing. We're going to go over here now.
Yeah, basically. They basically, and that's actually reflected in the, like, geography of the old Warhammer world, is there's literally a continent over here called Lustria, and that's where all the lizards live. And then they make a new continent, and that's where all the elves live. And then they make a new continent, and that's where all the humans live. And they're literally just, like, their little petri dish science projects.
So funny.
And then they're like, okay, we're going to try like another one, and we're going to make them live longer, and we're going to make them like hyper resistant to chaos. We're just going to like hard code it into their genes basically. But we're not going to give them like that kind of like hardwiring that the lizards have, where they just have to have like orders and instructions and stuff to function.
They can ad lib.
Yeah. And we're going to get about halfway through making them when chaos finds us and kills us. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask. Okay.
And so their last experiment before, we don't know exactly what happened to the old ones. Chaos found them. They did something to them. They're gone now.
Yeah.
But they were about halfway through making ogres as their next project. Yeah, right? When you're talking about like ancient precursor species, ogres don't generally hit the table. But
I wasn't expecting an ogre.
Yeah.
I was prepared for, honestly, orc, but only because I know they're the thing. And you like orc. And honestly, dwarf. Yeah. I was ready for dwarf.
Right? Dwarfs were, I actually missed dwarfs. Dwarves were too safe, basically. They did also make dwarves. Dwarves were too safe. They lived a long time, but they took away some of the kind of like, they basically inspired in them, instead of giving them a society that was instantly utopia, they just gave them like a bunch of tools and was like, make it yourself. And the dwarves took that to heart. But when trouble started, the dwarfen tendency was to seal yourself away, like retreat from the world.
Yeah, back off. Yep. Okay,
which wasn't going to be good enough for chaos.
So ogres.
Yes, ogres. Something about the old ones, like process of creating a new species. They had to like start off a template. They didn't just like make them whole cloth from nothing. And so they took some kind of existing like bestial species and they elevated it to being lizards and elves and dwarfs and humans and ogres. They got about halfway through that process with ogres before they disappeared.
Disappointing.
And so ogres are big and they're tough and they're extremely resistant to chaos. They got all that. And they're smart. They're sentient. They're at human intelligence. But the thing they didn't get a chance to remove is their animal-like hunger, basically. In the same way that if you put food in front of like a fish, it'll eat itself to death. Yeah,
just as long as there's food, it'll keep eating.
Ogres are cursed with an eternal hunger. They can never feel sated.
Oh man, that last chaos. Yeah. I know they're resistant, but that feels like a thing that would be right up their alley.
Right, right. Some ogres do try and like join in service to the chaos gods to get rid of that curse, and it just doesn't work because it just can't like reach them.
That's such a bummer.
Right.
Doubling way back. So we know nothing about the old ones.
No.
We know they made the lizard people and the elves and the humans and the dwarves and the ogres, and they survived the last world that the last reality that chaos destroyed.
Yep.
And they tried to prevent it, and then chaos found them.
Yes.
But we don't know anything about what their world was, or who they were, or if they had names.
Nope.
Cool. I think they were lizards.
They probably were lizards.
That makes the most sense. Not exactly the lizard people,
right?
But I think they were lizards because they're going off of beast templates, and the first thing they made were lizards, and the lizards don't reproduce. They have eggs that will hatch at a certain time, and these beings just have the ability to create. They obviously aren't reproducing.
Right.
That's got to be where did they learn that from?
Right?
That's got to be. So I think they're lizards.
Yeah.
And in my head, they are tropical geckos now.
I like that. The lizards that they eventually created do actually draw their template from like a bunch of different reptiles, like there are Saurus, which are like big.
Oh, they're dragons.
Yeah, a little bit.
I've decided the old ones are dragons.
Probably.
Yeah.
This is actually interesting. There were dragons in the world that was before the old ones started making stuff.
So the dragons are just around.
Yeah, dragons are native to the world that was. They weren't a creation of the old ones, which is fascinating.
Okay.
But the old ones might also have been dragons, for all we know. There are like hyper-intelligent, sentient dragons.
This new world has a thing that this old world survived, and maybe there were scraps that the world keeps going.
Yeah.
I've decided the old ones are dragons, and until I have evidence to the contrary, this is my headcanon.
Yeah, and there's even evidence to support it. The lizards have deities, like deities that they revere. And those are all, like, they're very explicitly, like, you can see the gear work of, like, the old ones telling them, like, revere these deities because these are important things for fending off chaos, right? But almost all of them are also lizards.
Yeah.
It's not crazy to think that they are just, like...
created in their image.
Exactly. 100%. 100%.
Okay. So that's the world. And then the ogres didn't work out because the old ones got jumped.
Yep, they got while they were still trying to finish ogres, and ogres just got released into the world, cursed to be in a rough spot.
Just really hungry all the time. It's like after you've had the flu and you're bouncing back and you're so hungry. Right. Or a probably more applicable one for maybe only a certain audience. When you're on your cycle and you're just so fucking hungry because your body thinks it needs to take in a lot of nourishment because it's about to make a baby. Right. It doesn't know you're not going to do that. So you just have to eat the whole pizza.
Yeah.
That cursed ravenous. Yeah,
universal, yeah. The old ones got chaos finds the world that was, and it makes its first attempt at destroying it. And all of the other like old one races are still kind of like in their infancy. Like elves number in the hundreds, humans are maybe in the thousands at this point. And so the lizards fend chaos off.
Aw, I love that. Okay, question. So if the chaos didn't find the world till after ogres were incomplete, how did the old ones know that the things they were making were not going to work out?
They got a sense for it.
They just ran a test.
Yeah, there was still magic in the world, and so they could kind of like test that way. One thing I forgot to mention is that like one of the things for why dwarves didn't work out is because they tried to make dwarves resistant to chaos by just like cutting off their connection to the magic.
Oh,
so
that
dwarves
sounds right.
Dwarves can't do magic. They literally just don't have a connection to
They
it.
just can't do it.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
Which did make them very resistant to chaos. And also very bad at combating it because they just like can't interact with it in a meaningful way.
With it. Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Interesting. All right. Cool.
And so they ran tests and stuff, and they watched how like elves developed and how humans developed, and witnessed humans. We'll call it a tendency to trend towards easy power at a price. But yeah, chaos comes in. The lizards mount a first successful defense. They push back chaos.
Yay!
The first time it tries to invade, with the help of, get ready, I'm going to throw a stupid Warhammer name at you, with the help of the most powerful lizard wizard at that time in existence, the venerable Lord Croak. He is a frog.
That's an amphibian.
He is. The highest caste of lizard society are frogs.
Those are amphibians.
They are.
Sure. Someone really liked Lord Croak and ran with it, regardless of... It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine, they're amphibians.
Lord Croak, master of celestial magic.
Okay, very cool. I'm into it. Star frog.
Yeah. He basically lured a huge army of chaos demons to his home city of Ixta, and then he fucking exploded it.
I can't imagine that made him popular in his hometown.
It did. Everyone died, including him and all the demons.
Well, I guess he didn't have to deal with that.
No. It's okay. He got better.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Croak
turned you into a newt. It's okay. I got better.
Croak was trained in magic by the old ones himself. He's possibly the only being in existence who knows what they were like. He was so powerful in magic that even after he died and like eons passed, right, and like the world recovered and like chaos would start to show up again in like small incursions and stuff, whenever chaos threatened the city of Ixta,
they rebuilt.
The
city got better too.
Yeah, there's a million lizards with "you live in the city of Ixta" in their brain, so they they just rebuilt
right.
it.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. So anytime chaos demons would threaten the city again, they would just roll Croak's corpse out and like hit it with a stick, and he would blow it up again. So powerful is Lord Croak in magic.
Awesome.
We love Croak.
That's so good.
But yeah, the lizards keep existing under the guidance of the mighty Slan. That's what the frogs are called.
Oh, okay.
Slan, or Slan is the technical, yeah. Slan and the warrior caste of Saurus and the worker caste of Skinks.
Skink. That's, why do I know that? Not from this.
It's a real lizard. Yeah.
Okay. So I've probably heard it used in context of something else because it is referencing the fact real lizard.
Yeah.
I'm getting a Muppet vibe?
Yeah, they're kind of, real skinks are like gecko adjacent.
Yeah.
Warhammer skinks are about yay tall, and they got a head frill.
I love that.
And they have a variation that's sometimes hatched instead called chameleon skinks, which are exactly what they sound like.
I'm obsessing. I'm listening, but I'm looking up skink because I there's a thing in my head that's like, oh, that's this thing, and there's got to be at least one listener that's like, it's this, and I feel you, and I'm so glad you got to it before me, but you can't tell me.
You gotta know. Inquiring minds have to know.
Okay, keep talking. I'm gonna
you're good.
later.
To make a really long story short, because all of this is like stuff that happened in the past, and then that world died, and then Age of Sigmar happens.
Oh, okay, right. No, I actually had questions about this world before we fucking leave.
Absolutely.
So that world died.
Yes.
Because of real world business reasons.
Yes.
Where it just wasn't doing things that certain people wanted to do.
Yeah.
Before it died.
Yeah.
Everything you've told me until this point was just the world. Chaos tries to destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
Here are the species that were created by the old ones.
Yes.
Ogres are the last ones. There are no old ones anymore.
Correct.
Good fucking luck, gang.
Yes.
And that's the world you just played in.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they threw a big rock at it.
Pretty much.
How would that feel to someone who was still playing in that world, or had everyone just abandoned it and thus the rock?
We're tap dancing around a little bit of like real world controversy here, talking about this.
Okay. Is it like uncomfortable real world controversy?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. It's just like nerd fight. Real world controversy.
So, wait. Are there some people that are like, the world that was just better?
Yes. There are quite a few of those people.
You're all wrong.
There's quite a few of those people. But you're right. Like a lot of people who are still in real life decisions that led to the Warhammer term for getting rid of something unceremoniously for business decisions is squatting it.
Whoa, okay.
Long story. In 40K, there was for a long time a faction of what are essentially space dwarves.
Very cool.
And by the 40K naming convention, they were called squats.
Oh, okay.
And they were not popular. Games Workshop sells miniatures for which you used to play their game.
And
their miniatures weren't selling. It was not worth the plastic to like sculpt them in. And so Games Workshop said, cool, we're discontinuing this line. All the squats got eaten by bugs.
And that's squats. That's
Squatting, yeah.
So squatting is just you unceremoniously get rid of a thing for financial reasons.
Yeah. Old World was going through a similar circumstance. The models were old. They didn't look too great. People were largely, this was after 40K was created, and people were largely migrating towards it for
People don't want cowboy toys. They want space rangers.
Yes,
Okay.
100%. So the financials weren't there. The nature of like GW's business model is that they produce stuff for a bunch of different factions simultaneously to drive like people to have like a diverse metagame and whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
It just wasn't financially viable anymore. There weren't enough people playing Old World anymore to like keep printing all that plastic and sending it out to store shelves, right?
Yeah.
And so they say, hey, we're going to do like a big climactic send-off for the Old World, and then we're going to do something new.
Oh my god. I'm just sorry. I'm realizing what that would feel like. Like you're still in this world.
Yeah.
And so, okay, wait. So in the world, you're trying to fight chaos. When you do the battle reenactment things, are you fighting chaos or are you fighting someone else?
It depends.
Okay.
The Warhammer world was pretty interconnected, and there are a lot of reasons for people to dislike each other. So in addition to like the races we've covered that the old ones created, there are like more
Like
peoples
dragons, there's
in
just
the
other
world.
people who already live here and are probably like not super jazzed that like you are invaders, you don't belong here. Like,
Yeah.
you just want to live our. Okay, so it's like everyone's not unified in this fight against chaos.
Absolutely not.
But they're aware it's a thing they're supposed to do?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
There are...
The lizards are aware.
Yes, the lizards are so aware.
That's their one thing.
It's the only thing they care about.
And the elves are aware because the lizards told them about it.
Sometimes,
some of them. Okay,
yeah.
some of them are. And you assume it's the same for the dwarfs, the humans, and the ogres maybe have no idea.
Humans have largely forgotten that like chaos is a threat.
Well, we all died. So
exactly.
They all died.
Yeah.
They weren't good at passing down history.
They remember it, or they know about chaos in like a detached way almost, where like humans...
Like lore.
Yeah.
Like mythology.
Yeah, like
It's a
humans
story.
know. So there's a couple of like factions of humans that are like aligned with chaos. Like it's just been kind of integrated into culture. Norskins are like a group of humans who their just like cultural religion just aligns with chaos. They didn't wake up one morning and go, I like chaos and I want to destroy the universe.
This is just how it's been already.
Yeah, you were just born into a family that worships the nine-feathered like god, who is Zinch, but you don't know his name. You just know he's the nine-feathered god. Yeah.
Okay.
He is the raven who brings change, and you do these rituals in his name, and you go out and you hunt a deer, and you come back, and that's life.
Okay. So that adds context. So
Yeah.
the cataclysmic event is it? May I guess chaos destroyed the world?
Yes.
That would feel so. I guess maybe some people would think that's really cool. I would be so acutely sad if this was the world I was in and I was like playing it and my approach was like, I want to save this world. Like I am aware that it is chaos is a thing. And so I want to do everything I can in this fictional space to be fighting to protect it. And then just because of money, the business just decide, well, chaos won. And that would feel so unfair to me. Yeah. Like I would be so upset and hurt and be like, no, you don't get to break my characters and my world. That you made it, but I would be so, I'd be so intrinsic. Like just like, I keep saying that, but like,
no, yeah.
It would break my heart to be that. Okay, everyone who thinks it's still good because you were there. I'm so sorry for my earlier comments. I don't know what it's like to be in your life. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's a complicated subject, and it's one that I always try and approach from kind of a neutral position. I didn't get into Warhammer when the old world still existed. I came in when AOS was like the only thing there was.
What's the real world timeline?
Gosh, I think AOS launched in 2017 or 18. It was
this is
pretty
so
recent. Yeah.
Oh my god, in my head I thought it was like at least maybe that was like the original stuff was like 80s and 90s and then this happened in 2002. Oh my god, I was a grown up when this happened. Like,
me too. Yeah.
This is just like there's like this wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a lot sooner than we think. And that also contributes to part of why it like didn't last, unfortunately, like cuz the models were old. Like it was hard to onboard new people who didn't have like the history of being in the world.
It's
because
like if it eventually becomes so weighed down with its old stuff.
Yes, you go to your local game store and someone's got, these old models that you have a lot of nostalgia for, but like a new player isn't going to look at this resin tree person that doesn't look super good and be like, I really want to get into that game, and that kind of led to some of the like issues.
So rather than like just doing a Gen 1, Gen 2 My Little Pony Monster High where you just re-release like here's the characters but they look like this now, they're just like fuck it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the excuse they needed to do like a big refresh.
But also I could see the appeal from like a creative standpoint where it's like but we could okay. That's so interesting.
It's complicated. And it's a topic with a lot of history, which is also why, like when I talk about it, I try and like, I want to be respectful to people who were immersed in that world because like
it's not even old enough for you to be like, come on, get over it. That was it's literally been like what was
2015.
Okay. So it's been 8 years.
It's been a while, but it's still definitely a fresh wound.
But how long was the original around for?
Longer.
Yeah.
80s.
Okay, so I was right. My God,
around a long time. Yeah. Yes, 100%.
With war games mixed with fantasy with obvious Tolkien influences. This was the 80s, baby.
Yep. Games Workshop got their start making miniatures for D&D. And then they expand into their own properties.
Surprised. Yep. Okay.
So that's a little bit of setting the groundwork for
what
would
be.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a little bit. I have greatly underestimated this endeavor. I'm so excited.
If we want to, we could talk about how the world actually ended. There was a huge war. Why there's 5 chaos gods now. Actually, I'll touch on that real quick.
Okay.
The 5th chaos god, part of what let chaos win is that
was
they...
it Lord Croak? No,
the
lizards would never.
No, the lizards would never.
Okay.
Some of the lizards are so like against chaos that they don't let like humans into Lustria.
That's fair.
They're just
either.
like, you're too easy to corrupt. Like you're kill on sight.
Yeah.
But the thing that eventually led to the Chaos Gods winning is that they found allies in the world. Explicit, not even that just like the Norse tribes worship like the 9-feathered god or whatever. Like explicit, we want to destroy the world. We want your help. And someone said yes. That was 2 main groups. With the Warriors of Chaos, which are humans who are explicitly on the side of chaos, and the Skaven. Skaven. So lurking in the dark corners of the world, outside of the realm, or outside of the lure of the chaos gods, in kind of like he was technically always a chaos entity, but he just wasn't strong enough to be a god, is the great horned rat. He is
Love some Rat King energy.
Oh yeah, he's terrible. I hate him.
I
I mean,
hate
he's a nasty little guy who we love.
Mm-hmm.
He is the worst parts of the other chaos gods. He is violent without glory. He is gross without the cycle of life. He is excess without joy. He is treachery without hope. He's just a bad dude.
No.
And he created a species of people in his image. Those are the Skaven.
Okay.
Large rat-like people. The number of Skaven on Earth laps every other sentient species in existence.
Oh.
Yes, by
Okay.
multiples. There are always more rats.
So if all the demons are like an extension of the individual chaos gods, what's this dude's deal? How are they?
He doesn't have demons of his own,
Okay.
which is why he made the Skaven. They're his children, functionally, and he treats them as such.
Okay.
Admittedly, he's a bad parent. He treats them very poorly.
But he views them as his children.
Yes.
In terms of like, I own you, property should be
Yes.
children.
Okay. And him creating a mortal species as his followers, as opposed to demons, means that he didn't have to find ways to get them into the realms. They just
Oh, they're just
already
there.
were there. And there's always
This is like someone
so many
sang
of
off
them.
beat in the song.
There's always so many of them. In any given human city, if a human city has a population of 5,000 people, it probably has a population of 15,000 Skaven.
In the city?
Living underneath it. They're subterranean.
I'm so upset.
Yeah, they're terrifying. The official stance of the Empire, which was like the largest human country during the time of the Old World, was that Skaven don't exist. They're a myth. And they held up that because they knew if people actually knew like how many Skaven there were,
Mass chaos.
yeah, absolutely.
God.
It would be the end of just like civilization because people wouldn't be able to cope with the fact that while you're laying in your
I'd
bed
be very
sleeping
upset.
at night, there's probably 3 or 4 Skaven underneath your house, right?
Yeah.
Just,
Get that.
just bad.
Yeah, chaos.
Yeah. And so Skaven helped with the destruction of the old world at the bequest of the Great Horned Rat. And the Warriors of Chaos anointed a champion. He was the chosen of all 4 chaos gods simultaneously, a thing that has never happened again.
Whoa, they got along.
Uh-huh.
Like 1 second.
Yep, they got along long enough to anoint a mortal champion. His name is Archaon the Ever-Chosen, Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse.
That's a great name.
It's a great name.
All right, and this dude was...
Human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Easy to corrupt. The Chaos Gods didn't do the corrupting, though. He's the victim of prophecy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's a terrible person. He's history's greatest monster.
Okay,
He
already
inadvertently like destroyed the world and the millions of innocent lives that were a part of it.
Okay, but like, did the system fail him?
Yeah. Yep. Right.
I don't
right.
agree with destroying the whole world, but like
Right.
maybe if the world had been a little bit better and like cared about people a little more, we
Right.
wouldn't have had this problem.
Right. Archaon, not born Archaon. I don't remember his real name.
I imagine nobody does.
Yeah, born to a Empire citizen mother and a Norscan father. So he's got a little bit of like heritage with chaos already there, but raised as a devout Sigmarite. If the name Sigmar makes your brain flare up, that's going to be important.
Okay, let's hold on to it.
Raised as a devout Sigmarite, which is the holy order that basically, even when humans don't know like the explicit threat of chaos, the things that the Church of Sigmar encourages like people to do helps ward
Combat
off
that.
chaos.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like these things that the old ones would have told the earliest humans passed down through tradition and story.
Cool.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So he was raised as a devout Sigmarite. He was like a loyal like temple boy. He was training to become like a knight of Sigmar. But there was a prophecy that a child of an Empire woman and a Norscan raider would grow up to cast a shadow over the whole world. And the people who were in charge of like keeping that prophecy and watching out for who that might be started connecting the dots and tied it to Archaon. And eventually, like they had enough signifiers. They were like, okay, this kid's the Ever-Chosen. We're going to like kill him before he can like fulfill his destiny because they don't know what a prophecy is.
Yep, there it is.
So they lure Archaon to like a temple to Sigmar under the pretense of just like, hey, come do like
Temple stuff.
holy temple stuff. They figure it's holy ground. They're going to have a better chance of the chaos gods not interfering. They try and kill him. They like shell the temple. They like shoot it with catapults and trebuchets and shit. Like just absolute scorched earth. Like put everything we have into killing this child.
This shit would never happen with the lizard folk.
Yeah, right. Right.
They don't have prophecies, they have to-do lists.
Yeah, right. The lizard folk know their prophecies are 100% going to come true. That's their job.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work, obviously. He's the ever chosen of chaos. One, a trebuchet shot goes a little wide, a brick doesn't fall where it's supposed to. Chaos wards its true champion. And this kid's like whole life is like torn down around him, right?
Yeah.
Like
This feels like Korn whispering, like, you should solve your problem with violence.
I mean, it's Korn whispering to solve your problem with violence. It's Zinch whispering if they're going to treat you, you've done nothing wrong.
Oh, I meant Korn whispering to the humans.
Oh,
the
yes,
priests who were like, well, we gotta solve the problem.
absolutely.
Like, that feels like, because it's like if they just left him alone, this wouldn't happen. He wouldn't cast a shadow. He'd probably be perfectly content with his world.
100%.
Because it would uphold all the beliefs. But this is like literally falling down around him, showing him that he was wrong to believe any of this. So it's like, it feels like, well, yeah, we'll just start this over here. And because you are going to be our champion, but we need to make sure that happens.
Yep. He literally just like, and he doesn't turn to chaos immediately. He tries to like reason with people. He tries to like go to people he trusts and be like, I'm not this person you think I am. I would never want like this horrible thing that I'm supposed to do.
Why would I want that?
But they keep treating him like he is. They're like, we can't divert the prophecy. Like, I'm sorry, but the safest thing for everyone is that you die. And he's like, it's not the safest thing for me.
Yeah, like that sucks.
Yeah. And it's like, if you're going to, if no matter what I do, even if I live like the rest of my life perfectly, you're going to keep treating me like history's greatest monster. Why don't I take this offer that keeps getting whispered in my ear to be the Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse, to be like the greatest, most powerful entity that's ever existed, and just do it. And then he does. And he wins. Yeah.
It reminds me of in the Loki Agent of Asgard Marvel comic run, where you have Loki, who was Kid Loki.
Right.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about any of that. But he becomes like Agent of Asgard, like makes amends for all of the villainous things he did in the past. But people, Asgardians, still just, they don't trust him because, like, you're the god of lies. You're the god of lies. You'll always be the god of lies. So how could we? And it does just turn him back into, like, old Loki, a villain. And just, he's like, well, if I'm going to be this, like, fuck it. And then goes back in time to meddle with young Loki's self and, like, do all these things and, like, kill the original Kid Loki. So it would be him to set on the cycle. But that shifted it. And eventually other things happened. And then it happened to overline with a comic book ending thing. Don't worry about it. Marvel did one of the resets. But eventually this version of Loki's like, I'm not the god of lies. I'm the god of stories. And that's a little bit different, isn't it? So I wish Archaon had that recontextualized to help him get through it.
It's
and
very,
a friend like Verity. But
yeah, it's very much people kind of become what you treat them as.
Yeah.
And like there's a world where Archaon was not the Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse.
Because everyone was a little bit more chill.
Yeah, right? But no, ultimately he unites the Warriors of Chaos. They bring Norskins out of the north. They open a great like rift in the world that chaos can pour through with the help of the Skaven, who help to like destabilize.
Very easily.
Yeah, the Skaven pull the moon into the earth, which is a whole thing.
That's very cool.
They straight up Majora's Mask everybody. And one of the moons of the Warhammer world is made of warpstone, which is coalesced magic. So that is just exactly as bad as you can imagine. Yeah, 100%. And ultimately, a great rift into the realm of chaos opens in the center of the world, and everything's gone.
Damn.
And that's the end.
And that's the end.
Yep. Archaon. This is the thing that makes me like Archaon the most, even though he's history's greatest monster. The one deal.
Okay, he just like killed a bunch of people, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, we say history's greatest monster. We're not talking like, did he have like slaves? Was he like assaulting people?
He did take slaves.
Okay.
Yeah, chaos does chaos stuff, unfortunately.
Chaos is chaos stuff. I would suggest that slavery feels like a crime of order.
Right. It is also.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely like, it's roughly, like I said, Renaissance era tech level. There definitely happened more in some parts of the world than others, but yeah.
Listen, like he can be a monster for,
yeah, no, 100%.
But like, how
100%.
much do I need to hate him personally?
Yeah. He does a lot of evil, but it's not like, he doesn't have like a lot of maliciousness in him, I guess is a good way of putting it.
It's almost worse.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so
the one deal he made with the Chaos Gods is that if he was going to do this for them, his 8 most loyal knights and their horses get to survive.
You've told me about the horses. Oh man, we love a horse girl.
Right, we love him. We love just the fact they specified like, and
The
it's
horses.
probably for like war reasons, right? Like
Obviously,
he
these
was
are the best horses.
Yeah, he was a mounted combatant. His greatest knights were mounted combatants.
They're going to
But
do the horses.
I like the idea that because he got his personal horse before he turned to chaos.
Aw.
Horse they took care of as
This is his best friend.
Absolutely.
This is one and only friend.
Duragar is his horse's
What a
name,
good horse name.
and it's the only person he's probably ever trusted.
Yeah!
At least, especially since he turned to chaos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can't trust anybody else there.
Yeah. Also, the Great Horned Rat told all of the Skaven to go to their capital city of Skavenblight, and as the world was ending, the Great Horned Rat picked up Skavenblight and also pulled it into the realm of chaos. So the Skaven survived the end of the world. Or at least all the Skaven that made it to Skavenblight in time. The rest of them died.
So, wait. Is the Great Horned Rat the other god, or is it?
Yes. The Great Horned Rat ascended to godhood.
It feels like Archeon did more, but okay, I guess. Like, it's not up. No one asked me.
Here's the kicker.
Okay.
After the world ended, before the Great Horned Rat ascended to chaos godhood, the other 4 chaos gods came to Archeon and they said, "You've done great. Let us reward you. We will make you a demon prince, the highest of demons, with the potential to ascend to chaos godhood." And Archeon told them, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So he had a chance to like ascend to chaos
No,
godhood.
he had a chance to do more work.
Correct.
He had a chance to work longer and harder. This is some middle-ass management promotion where now you have to do more work to maybe get more credit someday.
The chaos gods' offers always have hooks. And the Great Horned Rat didn't ascend because the other 4 chaos gods were like, "We like you." He ascended basically just by like
Sheer force of will.
stealing all of the like chaos energy that was sloshing around when the world ended. Yeah.
So they explicitly don't like this guy.
No.
Like, you're not even supposed to be here. We didn't invite you to sit lunch with us. You don't wear pink on Wednesdays.
If the chaos gods hate each other a lot, they hate the Great Horned Rat the most. He is not part of the club.
Petty ass bullshit. Fantastic.
And-
okay.
yeah.
So Archeon said, "Fuck off"
Yep.
to your offer.
Yeah, I'm going to stay mortal. And he did. He lived in the Chaos Realm for who knows how long, and now he's back in the New World. We'll get to it. I don't want to get too far down that. Yeah, I don't want to get too far down that path because.
So the world is destroyed.
Yeah, the world is destroyed,
Again.
and Sigmar, who was the god of the Empire.
Okay. So there are like actual gods.
Kind of. So.
No, don't. No, I can't.
You're fine.
I'm putting a pin. I'm sure I'll have questions about gods later. Let's just focus on Sigmar. Don't explain the god. Just they're a Sigmar. They're a god.
So
please continue.
Sigmar was the god of the Empire. He ascended to godhood. He was once a mortal man. Yep.
Just ascending left and right in this world.
Yeah.
Why didn't Lord Croak become a god?
This is actually one of the more interesting things about like deities in AOS specifically. Almost all of the gods in the setting are ascendant from mortals. The chaos gods are the exception, not the rule.
Interesting. Okay.
The feat that earned Sigmar godhood is back in like tribal times, like back when humans were still like carving stuff out of rocks. Sigmar is the person who united all of the disparate human tribes.
That's some King Arthur shit.
Exactly.
Let me say, that's some King Kamehameha shit.
Yeah. He brought them all together and said, "Hey, our chances of surviving are better as a group, where our strengths can contribute to other strengths and our weaknesses can be covered by others." And for that, he was anointed as the god of civilization.
Who did this anointing?
Him. The belief of humanity combined made him like the one true human god.
Never underestimate the power of 1,000 human minds all believing the same thing.
Yep. He served as the god of the empire very passively during the old world. He didn't see it as his like right to interfere.
Yeah, that feels like god of civilization. He's like, I brought you together to do your thing, not my thing.
Yep. And then during the end times, to help fight off chaos, he inhabited the body of the then emperor of the empire. Because in the old world, it was very hard intentionally for gods to like affect the material world as a measure to try and keep chaos out.
Yeah.
So the main way he did that, like I said, the then emperor of the empire, Karl Franz, died, and Sigmar inhabited his body in death. Yep.
Hold on. Was he? No, keep going. No, I can't dig. Okay, so Sigmar, it didn't work though.
No. He fought Archeon to a standstill, trying to prevent the end of the world, and that's when Skaven crashed the moon into the planet, basically.
Yeah, not much you can do after that.
No, 100%. Though someone did try. One of the Slan, one of the frogs, tried to stop the moon from crashing into the world, and he almost got it.
Aw, good for him.
Yeah.
Sorry it didn't work. Well, I
Right.
guess, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Right. His name was Mazdamundi, which is a good name.
Mazdamundi.
And he managed to halt the moon in orbit, but that just made it break up into pieces. And
and then a bunch of little chaos, unstable magic pieces. Yeah, that is worse, I think.
Yeah. It also made his head explode because it was just a lot of effort. But
Yeah.
he's a very powerful wizard, but not that powerful.
Not that
It's a whole moon.
It's a whole moon. Yeah.
We try. But Sigmar, inhabiting the body of Karl Franz, fights Archaon to a standstill. The world ends while they're still locked in combat,
Very
basically.
cool.
And
That's
after...
a cool set piece. I'd like to see art of that, them locked in combat and everything's just falling into chaos around them.
There is good art of it. The world is consumed by chaos. The vast majority of matter in the world and like the actual like pieces of the world get pulled into the chaos realm. They get dissolved into their component pieces, basically, because that is the true nature, the true state of chaos. The only part that survives is a husk of the world that was, and Sigmar, being divine, being basically at the epicenter, like in the eye of the storm. Sigmar is left alone with the corpse of the world he loved in a vast sea of nothing, just like floating in space. And he's like that for a long time.
Ooh.
He doesn't know how long. There's not a sun anymore.
Yeah, you can't track time.
And he just drifts, thinking about how he tried as hard as he could to save the world he loved, and he failed. And that's just what he has, that memory and the corpse of his world for a long time. And then eventually he has something else. And that is where I'm going to leave room for a dramatic pause so we can get into our proper episode 1, talking about what he has next, what leads us to eventually a setting that will be titled The Age of Sigmar, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You've saying AOS, and I'm like, I know Dalton said at the top of the episode. I don't remember, so I will have to ask for clarification later. Age of Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar. But that's our episode 0 primer on kind of the world that was. We touched loosely on a couple of different topics. There's so much more that could be said about the world that was. It was a setting that existed for like 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know as much about it as Age of Sigmar, which is part of...
That's not what this show is about.
Yeah, that's not what the show is about.
Specifically.
Those of you who are here with us for specifically a show telling you about like Age of Sigmar, I promise this is going to be the episode where we talk the most about the world that was.
I don't know, man. I want to go back to my dragon gods, but we'll circle back.
Right,
I'm sure.
right. We have more dragons in the Age of Sigmar, if it helps.
Good. Never mind.
But yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed spending time with Darian and I in this discussion of the world that was. And next episode, we will be talking about the world that is, the world that continues to be. The Age of Sigmar.
The Age of Sigmar.
So signing off for the first time, I am Dalton Montgomery, resident Warhammer aficionado.
And I'm Darian Smart, and I'm starting to suspect this has nothing to do with Mjolnir.
Thank you so much, and we hope to see you next time.
Take care, everybody.